It is time for Spookathon Day 26. I am Count Morgula, and last night I watched two of my very favorite films of all time. Two films that are immensely popular from the get-go and still remain so to this day. A lot to say about this with these two. They are The Night Stalker from 1972 and The Night Strangler from 1973, two TV films produced by Dan Curtis and written by Richard Matheson, based off Jeff Rice's original unpublished novel, The Kolchak Tapes, aka The Kolchak Papers. And the first movie, Night Stalker, sorry, was an enormous, unprecedented success. It broke all the records for a original program TV movie of that time, and remained very popular over all the years. And Night Strangler the next year did almost as well, close enough, and they were planning on doing a third film called The Night Killers, but instead the people at the network decided, hey, let's make a TV series out of this. We get a lot more out of it. We'll get into that here in a minute. Okay, so my good pal Chuck Dixon talked about Richard Matheson on his most recent Ask Chuck Dixon YouTube show. Go over there. He's got more than one program, and that's always entertaining and edifying, and you can learn something and be entertained as well. So anyway, he talks about Richard Matheson, and he of course brings up these films, and he makes the point of, rightfully so, saying that Richard Matheson didn't create Carl Kolchak, the main character played by Darren McGavin in these films and the TV series. And he's correct, of course, but I wanted to point out something because it also kind of relates to Chuck as well, is that Chuck Dixon did not create Tim Drake version of Robin. But like his version of Robin, his long run, 100 plus issues or 100 issues of writing Tim Drake, in addition to others in Detective Comics and this, that, and the other, he edified the character. He added to that character more than anybody has. He brought him to life outside of just his basic creation. Same thing happened with Richard Matheson and Dan Curtis and David McGavin with the character of Carl Kolchak, because the basis of that character is in the novel. I mean, world-weary, old-time reporter who's been down the road, who can't keep his mouth shut, is, obsessed with the truth and keeps getting fired over and over again and can't get along with anybody. Indeed, the character has no friends other than the one he has the most contentious relationship with, and that is Tony Vincenzo, played by the great Simon Oakland. The two characters are stuck with each other and are contentious, but they also obviously care about each other, as is evidenced as on moments. But they can't get along. It's like an old married couple. And but even his informants and all the friends that he has across whatever, in Las Vegas in the first movie, and then Seattle, he actually doesn't have anybody there because he just arrived. But even in the TV series where everything was set in Chicago, they all owe him something, or he knows their weakness, or he knows a way to bribe them or whatever. He just knows too much, and they have to help him because they're never happy to see him until, of course, they see what a bribe he might have or whatever. But anyway, getting back to the point, Jeff Rice created Carl Kolchak. There's no taking that away from him, and I wouldn't dare to try. But the Carl Kolchak that we love, the one that we know the best, was very much because of Richard Matheson, Darren McGavin, and Dan Curtis. And that's just something I'd like to say, and I did. So getting back to the movies, they are really well made, incredibly effective. There's a reason why they have stuck in the zeitgeist of the horror fan of us, that because they're just great. And outside of just how good a story they are and how well filmed they were and the great music, which was, what's his name? Bob Corder, I think. Man, I hope I ain't got your blame wrong. Who did the music for a lot of Dan Curtis's stuff, including Dark Shadows, and did that incredible theme that everybody knows. Uh, and another thing that I really liked about Dan Curtis and the way he did these things in both of the movies and in the TV series is the use of so many character actors. It's wonderful characters. Stanley Adams, Wally Cox, uh, uh, um, Margaret Hamilton, uh, Claude Akins, just on and on and on. Just wonderful character actors. Al Lewis. And the TV show did the same thing. Another one of the reasons why I never stopped loving watching that TV series. It's not the best, it's not perfect, it's had problems, but it was great. But the real show is McGavin and Oakland and that contentious and wonderful relationship that they had. And Carl Kolchak himself is that. And going back real quick to Vincenzo and Kolchak, is that it's one of those rare situations where, and this is just great writing, and Richard Matheson is the guy, and he established this, and they followed that formula. You feel for both guys. You can see why both of them really are bugged by the other, because Carl Kolchak is a pest, and Vincenzo just trying to get into his day, and you can see that, his trying to, do what he has to do to make things run right, because he's the boss, and, it pisses off Kolchak. So it's a wonderful situation. But we admire Kolchak for one and one only reason, for sure. He is dogged for the truth. When he gets his teeth into that bone, he does not let go. I mean, part of it is because he wants to go back to his glory days when he was a big city newspaper man. And